Welcome to Afterlife Experiences. If our content intrigues you, don't forget to show your support by giving this video a thumbs up and joining our community of subscribers. Now let's dive right into today's NDE experience. Sarah clutched her head, her world shrinking to the throbbing pain pulsating behind her eyes. It was a familiar agony, a migraine that had plagued her for years. Pills rattled in the bottle, a symphony of promised relief. She swallowed the prescribed dose, desperate for the pain to recede. But this time something felt different. A sense of foreboding crept in, a whisper of unease. She ignored it, choosing to believe in the power of the medication. It was a decision that would forever alter the course of her life. The pain intensified, a relentless drumbeat against her skull. Panic welled up as she realized she had accidentally taken more than the recommended dosage. Her vision blurred, the room spinning as a wave of nausea washed over her. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through the haze of pain. She was alone, her breath coming in shallow gasps. "God, please help me," she whispered, her voice trembling. It was a simple plea, born of desperation and the terrifying realization that she might be living her last moments. The world dissolved into a kaleidoscope of fragmented images and distorted sounds. Sarah felt herself slipping away, her body growing heavy, her thoughts disjointed. The fear intensified, a suffocating blanket of dread. She tried to call for help, but her voice was a strangled whisper, lost in the deafening roar of her own blood pounding in her ears. Darkness encroached, threatening to swallow her whole. Yet even in the face of oblivion, a flicker of hope remained. The faint memory of her grandmother's words, whispered during childhood prayers, surfaced in her mind. "God is always with you, child, even in the darkest of times." Clinging to that sliver of faith, Sarah surrendered to the darkness, her last conscious thought a desperate prayer. "God, please don't let me die like this." Then, something extraordinary happened. Instead of succumbing to the abyss, Sarah found herself bathed in a warm, radiant light. It wasn't the harsh glare of the sun, but a gentle, all-encompassing luminescence that seemed to emanate from within and around her simultaneously. The pain that had tormented her only moments ago vanished, replaced by a profound sense of peace she had never known. Fear dissolved into awe as she realized she was no longer alone. A presence, both familiar and otherworldly, surrounded her. It had no form, no face, yet she felt an overwhelming sense of love and acceptance, a feeling so pure and unconditional that it brought tears to her eyes. It was then that she knew, with every fiber of her being, that she was in the presence of something divine, something beyond human comprehension. As she drifted in the embrace of the light, a voice, filled with love and gentle amusement, whispered her name. It was a voice she hadn't heard in years, a voice that sent a wave of longing and bittersweet joy through her. "Dad?" she whispered, her heart pounding. Suddenly she was enveloped in a warm embrace, the familiar scent of her father's pipe tobacco filling her senses. He was young again, his eyes twinkling with the love and pride she remembered so well. "Don't be afraid, my darling," he said, his voice a soothing balm to her soul. "You are safe now. You are loved beyond measure." Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she clung to her father, the years melting away as if they had never been. Then, as quickly as he appeared, he began to fade. But before he disappeared completely, he looked at her with an intensity that burned his words into her very being. "Tell everyone, Sarah. Tell them that love never dies, and that God is closer than they think." Section 5. The Crystal Waterfall, drowning in divine love and acceptance. Her father's image faded, replaced by a vision of breathtaking beauty. Before her cascaded a waterfall, its water a shimmering crystal blue, unlike anything she had ever seen on Earth. As she drew closer, she realized it wasn't water at all, but pure liquid light, radiating an energy that pulsed with life and love. It beckoned her, inviting her to surrender to its embrace. Hesitantly at first, then with growing confidence, Sarah stepped into the cascading light. A feeling of overwhelming joy washed over her as the light enveloped her, cleansing her of every fear, every doubt, every painful memory she had ever carried. She was being bathed in pure, unconditional love, a love so profound that it defied human understanding. In that moment, she understood. This was the source of all creation, the very essence of God, and she was a part of it, as was everything and everyone else. Section 6. Becoming one. Merging with the light, returning home. The waterfall of light drew her upwards, higher and higher, until she felt herself merging with it, becoming one with its radiant energy. Time ceased to exist. There was no past, no future, only the eternal now. She was pure consciousness, pure love, existing in a realm where words had no meaning and separation was an illusion. It was a homecoming, a return to a state of being she had forgotten but instinctively recognized. Then, as gently as it had begun, the experience shifted. A sense of peace, so profound it surpassed all understanding, flowed through her. She knew it was time to return, to share the love and knowledge she had been given. Though a part of her yearned to remain in that blissful state, another part of her recognized the importance of her mission. She had work to do, a story to tell. Section 7. A New Dawn. Awakening to a Life Transformed by Grace. Sarah opened her eyes, blinking against the harsh hospital lights. The steady beep of machines filled the air, a stark contrast to the symphony of light she had just experienced. Memory flooded back. The migraine, the overdose, the fear. But something was different. The fear was gone, replaced by an unshakable sense of peace and a deep, abiding love that permeated every cell of her being. She looked down at her hand, marveling at the fact that she was alive. Then, she noticed something even more miraculous. The chronic pain that had plagued her for years was gone. Completely gone. She sat up, tentatively at first, then with growing confidence, and realized that not only was the pain gone, but she felt stronger, healthier than she had in years. It was a miracle, a testament to the power of the divine love she had experienced. Section 8. Sharing the Light. The Ripple Effect of Divine Love. News of Sarah's miraculous recovery spread quickly. Doctors were baffled by her sudden healing, unable to explain how someone who had overdosed so severely could be alive, let alone completely free of chronic pain. But Sarah knew the truth. She had been touched by something beyond human comprehension, a force of love so powerful that it had healed her body, mind, and spirit. And so she began to share her story. At first, she confided in close friends and family, hesitant to reveal the depth of her experience for fear of being judged or dismissed. But their reactions, a mixture of awe, wonder, and a renewed sense of hope, encouraged her to share her story with a wider audience. She spoke at churches, community centers, and eventually even at conferences and workshops. With each telling, her conviction grew. She had been given a gift, a responsibility to share the message of hope and healing that had been entrusted to her. Section 9. Embracing the unknown, no longer afraid of the journey's end. The near-death experience had fundamentally changed Sarah. She was no longer afraid of death, for she had seen a glimpse of what lay beyond, and it was more beautiful, more loving, and more welcoming than anything she could have imagined. Death, she realized, was not an ending, but a transition, a homecoming to a place where love was the ultimate reality. This newfound understanding freed her to live life more fully, more authentically. She quit her stressful job and dedicated her life to helping others connect with their own spirituality, offering guidance and support to those who were struggling with fear, doubt, and the pain of loss. She became a beacon of light, her own life a testament to the transformative power of faith, surrender, and the unwavering belief in a love that transcended all boundaries. Section 10. Living Proof. The Healing Power of Faith and Surrender. Years passed, and Sarah's story continued to touch countless lives. People from all walks of life, from different faiths and backgrounds, were drawn to her message of hope and healing. Many wrote to her, sharing their own stories of struggle and transformation, expressing gratitude for the courage she had shown in sharing her experience. Some even claimed that her story had inspired them to seek their own spiritual awakening, leading them to experience profound healing and a renewed sense of purpose. Sarah never claimed to have all the answers, nor did she present herself as a guru or spiritual leader. She was simply a woman who had been touched by grace, a woman who had looked into the face of death and returned with a message of love and hope for humanity. She was living proof that miracles happened, that even in the darkest of times, the light of divine love could never be extinguished. Section 11. A Universal Message. Finding Hope in the Face of Adversity. Sarah's story is not just about one woman's near-death experience. It is a universal message of hope, resilience, and the boundless nature of love. It reminds us that even in the face of unimaginable adversity, even when we feel lost and alone, we are never truly separated from the source of all creation. It encourages us to open our hearts to the possibility of a love so vast, so unconditional, that it has the power to heal not only our bodies but also our souls. In a world often consumed by darkness and despair, Sarah's story serves as a beacon of light, reminding us that even in the depths of our suffering, there is always hope. It is a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit and the transformative potential that lies dormant within each and every one of us. For within each of us resides a spark of the divine, a spark that, when ignited by faith, love, and surrender, has the power to illuminate not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us.